Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Hello, it's us. Knock, knock. Let us in. Not by the hair of your chinny chin
There's
chin.
Jeff Sari Chinny Chin Chin.
And we are the two half squads. I'm Jeff.
I'm Dave. We are producing the one and only podcast on the net dedicated 94% to the greatest game in the world, Advanced Squad Leader.
And it's amazing all these years. Oh, you know what? I think we just had an anniversary in
Oh, it's
April.
April.
I forgot. I totally forgot. I think we hit 16 years. Yeah. 17 years. I don't know.
See, I would have guessed 10 again. 10
Yeah.
years.
We'll just say 10.
16 or
I
17.
think, yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Okay.
is, wow.
Well, there's 300. This is episode 364. So it must have been a lot of years.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's pretty amazing. I will drink to our health. I had a hard day, Dave. I'm going to have a little something here.
You can. I'll have some later. In the meantime, I'm having tea in my big gulp cup. It's the homebrew tea.
I'm having vodka, the aqua vitae of the day. So how are you, David?
Doing all right,
Good to
sir.
see you.
Yep.
I guess I should move my camera.
From your chinny chin chin.
Yeah. Um, well, it's been a crazy week. Well, I had a client that got whacked by a virus
Mm-hmm.
that encrypted all of his files, and they're demanding money, and he's not going to pay.
Okay.
So we've been trying to restore all of his files, and it's been quite a fiasco.
It's a definite nightmare.
Do you understand fiasco? I think that's an Italian word, isn't it?
I
Do you speak Italian at all?
I do not.
Okay, well, then it's been a big cluster.
Actually, I do. Si, senor.
See, yeah, yes, to your health.
Yeah, that's a tragic thing.
Mm-hmm. It's been pretty challenging, but
Nightmare.
he's got a good attitude, and he's going out of business, but he can always get, become like the ice cream man or something, drive around the truck. How nice would that be?
Can you start over a new business?
He's about 70.
Oh,
So probably, well, I mean, he could, sure.
part time.
Why not?
Work part time
Yeah.
for someone else.
Yeah. I know a guy that became president. He was older.
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't know him personally.
Couple of them.
Yeah. So apparently that's okay. But yeah, so it's been a tough week. So if I'm a little bit down, a little maudlin,
Well, your name's Mr. Happy on your
I'm
sign.
I'm trying to pick myself up. So whatever you can do.
Okay. Well, we don't have to do too much at the moment. We could jump right into an interview with Jim Burris of St. Louis
Oh,
ASL
yes.
fame.
Yes, I've been eager to hear that.
All right,
Let's do that.
here we go. Well, hello, everybody. Where am I at, Jim?
This is, I guess, Shawnee Village,
Shawnee something.
Shawnee, Kansas. We're just
Kansas.
across the border from Missouri. So right in Kansas City, Kansas, essentially.
Yep, around there. We're at the March Madness tournament. And this, as everyone knows, I think, is Jim Burris, who I will tell you, someone came to me at this table and said, Jim Burris. I think I said, like, well, I want to grab Jim and someone else, and then I'm open. Is the best ASL player.
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure that that's
no
anywhere near true.
Jim, he was serious. He's like, the other guys are great. Wes Small and all these guys are very, very good. But actually, I think Jim Burris is the best. Now, I remember at our, was it maybe Chicago or maybe S-Lock?
Yeah.
I was playing a game with someone else on the side.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just stopped in and said, do you mind if I watch or whatever? And I'm like, yeah, we're not in the tournament.
Right.
And so you could kibitz with us.
Right.
And you were like, oh my gosh, how did Jim remember that and remember this? So anyway, folks, I've been told this is one of the best ASL players in the world.
Well, I'll say I'm above average, but there are a lot of really, really good ASL players, and I'm far from being the top.
Well, tournament-wise, you've not won a lot of tournaments. You've won some.
Well, I've won this tournament 3 times.
Oh, 3 times.
Yes.
Okay. There you go.
And
that's it, folks. That's all the evidence you need.
But I think about my ASL, and I don't know that I would be able to get into it. I'm much older than I was when I started playing. but my call it muscle memory of the game just kicks in, and I know the things, and I don't have to look up rules that often. Although every now and then you'll get something crazy about, does the in place gun in the open cancel open ground for an overrun?
Yeah.
And so you have to look it up.
Yeah. Some of it's the combination things that suddenly make it, oh, this instance, I do a lot with pillboxes, but not pillboxes in the snow on the with the
Mhm.
mist and well, yeah, that's a bad example, but yeah, like, that's what you're
And
saying.
then every now and then, a simple rule that I've been playing forever, I'm like, is that right? Are we playing it right? And I'll have to look it up. And
I said that the other day,
Yeah.
or I mean, on our interview, okay, something, and I'll be going, wait, we've done this a million times.
Mhm.
Why am I questioning it suddenly?
right.
And then look
It's
it up.
age.
Yeah, I think that's what I was afraid of. And then you look it up and you're like, yeah, we're right. Yeah, that's correct. Why did we question that? So, and Jim runs to St. Louis, as we've talked about. We've interviewed you one of the
3 or 4 times.
one of the most, I would think, partly because you're probably close by. And so the tournament's still going.
We have it. It's always, I think there may have been one exception, but if other than that, it's always the last full weekend in July. And again, this weekend, I can't remember the exact date. So like the 25th, 26th, and 27th, it's at the same place. We've had it for all but 2 years, Best Western Kirkwood Inn. The Kirkwood Inn underwent some management change or some ownership change, and we were concerned that we wouldn't be able to have it again there going into the future because they had made some arrangements with some other companies. But we've got that all hashed out, and so we're back at the Best Western in Kirkwood, same location. And the thing that I've always been a little concerned about is that we would have a perfect storm and all the people that have ever come show up.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, we can't accommodate this many people. But that's never happened. And we're on our 28th year. So this year will be our 28th annual. And as far as I know, I'm going to continue to do it for the next couple of years. Around 30, it'll be a milestone, and maybe I'll pass the torch at that time. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Okay.
And it's a couple of years down the road.
Yeah, and numbers there. I think we're talking about a dozen to 20, or
we
more
have
up to 30 people.
I think the least, starting the first couple of years, we had 8 the first year, and it was just a bunch of local guys, and then we had 16 the next year. Then I think the next lowest was like 18. We typically have anywhere from 24 to 34.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's just somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
And it turns out to be a good tournament. If you get 34 people in that room, it's everyone's cozy. So we'll just keep doing it like that. Same format as always. Show up. We play 2 rounds on Friday, 2 rounds on Saturday, and then the final round on Sunday. And people that come enjoy, have a good time. We cater barbecue Saturday night, and we have a raffle for prizes, and plaques. And Jeff Hightow, who you may or may not have interviewed yet,
No, he's here.
he is a model maker. And
Yes, right.
I forget the first year that we did this, but we've been doing it for a lot of years. Is that we'll pick a model, some sort of tank or vehicle of some sort, and he'll do the model, and then we'll place it on a blank counter that's 12 by 12. It looks really sharp. He does a good job.
I think we did put pictures up before of that. Maybe I'll dig some up, or when you get home, send a recent one. We'll throw it in here, whatever.
Yeah, you'll have to remind me.
Yeah. And then Jeff is here now.
Yes.
Is his wife here?
His wife is around here somewhere, and daughter. They came up with him.
Were they playing ASL right around the corner?
No, I don't know who that was. There was a young lady and a male friend of hers looked about the same age. They look like they're in their maybe mid-20s.
Yeah.
Playing starter kit. So I think that
look at that, folks.
Yeah, I'm concerned about the future of ASL because the population of players is aging, and we're losing a few. And people know who those people are, and I'm sad when I hear it. But I think that my generation of people my age will be the last. I think it will dwindle once we depart the hobby.
Yeah.
I hope it's not true. I hope that we find a way to get younger people in and it continues on, but I don't know that I see that.
It's asking a lot to learn the system. The starter kit's probably
Right.
a good idea. Could you start with that?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I had a friend that tried to get me to play starter kit with him and get into the game, but he never wanted to do anything but starter kit. And I played 4 or 5 times with him. Hi, Todd Reed, if you're listening. But I was like, I can't continue to play a starter kit because it's missing so much of the flavor, the
Okay.
bypass, the fire lanes, the heat of battle, concealment, snipers, things like that. And I wish I could have brought him over to the full ASL, but it didn't occur.
Yeah.
I got mixed feelings about starter kit. If people are playing it, great. But I think that full ASL has so much to offer that starter kit doesn't. And
I wondered if it might have been better to just have people play infantry only for quite a long time and
Yeah.
then add in a few things at a time and maybe never even play the full
yeah. Well, I think that's kind of where
options.
where
right?
this interview might be headed is, you asked me, we're like, what are we going to talk about here? It's like, what have I been playing lately? Well, after the St. Louis tournament last year, we had 3 or 4 guys show up that had never played before that wanted to learn how to play, local guys. And we're like, okay, we need to revitalize the St. Louis ASL club, which is kind of fallen off. People kind of still play a few here or there. But for the most part, we're not meeting on a regular basis. So we start meeting on a regular basis at Jeff Hightower's house. We try to do every Wednesday, sometimes every other. And these new guys where I'm teaching them ASL, not starter kit, but we're going to play some basic infantry only scenarios. And then we've gotten to the point where we've introduced ordnance. What is it? Zon with the Wind has
Yeah,
the 88s.
Yeah.
Started playing that. We just played the same scenario a few times, and then we'll switch sides, and they'll see, oh, I could have done this, and get them to the point where they feel like they could, come to a tournament and play and have a good time. So that's kind of some of what I've been playing. But it just seems like I don't have the time I used to dedicate to playing a lot of ASL. I play at the tournaments and between tournaments, a handful of scenarios here or there, but
Yeah.
not like I was back before. Frankly, I don't know where the time goes.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. Because you're retired? No,
I am not.
you're still working.
Yeah, still
Yeah.
working, but I got a couple more years before I retire. So, and when that happens, then I'll have, unless I listen to the other people that say, now that I'm retired, I have even less time.
And that's partly true.
Yeah.
And I find I do have some time, but boy, the days can fill up. And then I'm free to do these things like, get here, which I've never been here, never been to St. Louis.
Yeah.
So I see that is happening now. And my wife working part-time,
Mhm.
she can go with me. And then she's today visiting we're staying at a friend's house and
Okay.
she's helping her. She'll be moving soon. And so she's helping her pack.
Mhm.
And, here I am. But you also had developed the scenario, the pack,
China, Burma, India pack.
and was that going to have another part to it, or is that not going to happen?
Well, again, that's all with. I was anticipating this question. Given infinite time, I love doing the research. I love doing the scenario design. I did a lot of research for Burma 1, which was the invasion, Japanese invasion. Burma 2 would be the occupation, which has the Chindits and Ord Windgate and Kohima and lots of different things that are associated with that. So I got a lot of research done on that. And then finally, the third installment of China, Burma, India would have been the Allies recapture of Burma. And I still think about it. I just haven't had time to really dedicate to putting that forward. And I've got a few other projects that, and again, people can probably sympathize or feel the same way. It's like, I've got lots of really cool ideas too, but just it's a matter of priorities because I'll just mention I've 5 acres and horses and a garden and bees and lots of other things I like to do with my time.
Now, have you always had that kind of homesteader or farming?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you have,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Kind of forgot that. I could just imagine you're in a suburb or something.
No, we live out west of St. Louis, about out near, if anyone knows where, I'll say New Melly, Missouri, but people might be more inclined to know where Wentzville, Missouri is. So,
Okay. Yeah.
that's where we live.
Yeah. My mom inherited the farm in Bertrand, Missouri.
Oh, okay.
Sykeston and
Yep.
that area.
That's where I grew up, down in southeast Missouri.
Oh,
So,
yeah. And then, so that'll be, if we get to it, we get to that. And then are you playing outside of the ASL stuff? Any of the new, I do a lot of the D&D and.
Yeah. Again, well, I'll tell you a few things that have taken some of my time is Jeff Ital and others in our area will play Twilight Imperium.
Oh, yeah. Is that the one with the space where you get a different races
Yep.
and the space board?
Yes.
And then the point tracker,
Yes.
10 and it
Yep.
moves, it changes.
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
That's kind of good.
That's
You like that game?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It is so much fun.
Yeah. Mike Rizzi got us playing
Mhm.
that a couple nights at his house.
Because it's an hour per player to play the full.
Yeah,
it's a long game.
Try to keep it to like, I think 4 players. Could play it over multiple nights.
Yeah.
He can leave it set up.
Right.
And I do remember letting someone else get a point. This is probably horrible to admit because I wanted to end the game. And people were
Here's
like,
my support for the throne.
Dave, that's bad.
Yeah, that's
It
king
was
making.
horrible of you. I was like, well, what? And then I didn't realize how bad that was to do.
Yeah.
Folks, you don't do that. You don't help someone else win when there's a multiplayer game going.
Right.
You got to think of everyone.
Yeah, we have a house rule that you can't win the game or get your last point from a support for the throne.
Okay, it's the term, support for the throne. Yeah.
That's here. You get 1 point. I'm giving you a card that gives you 1 point. And
Yeah. Maybe that's what
it's a
I
promissory
did.
note. Yeah.
But I forget how I did it,
Yeah.
or if I moved my ships away from.
Oh, so we could take
I
something.
forget, but
Yeah. Well, at some point, when you've played for 8 hours, you're just ready for it to end. If you don't have any path to victory, you're like, oh, we can end this and I can go home.
it's tempting.
Yeah, no, I can sympathize with that.
Yeah, but that's a good game.
Yeah, we play, and then there was a time, and I probably mentioned this in a previous interview, that when I started playing ASL with Doug Kirk in Columbia,
Doug Kirk, yeah.
and then I moved to St. Louis, and I still would only play ASL. All these people are throwing out other games: Formula D, Blood Bowl, Settlers of Catan, Carcassonne. Just all these other board games. I'm like,
Yeah.
nope, I'm just playing ASL.
Yeah.
Nope, just playing ASL.
I'm kind of that way.
Yeah. Well, then somebody got me to play Cataan, Settlers of Catan, and I'm like, oh, what is this fun that I'm having?
It's pretty good.
And now I own probably 60 board games that are not ASL.
Okay.
And
this
play
all
a
happened
lot of them.
later in your life.
Well, that would have been, God, I can't remember when it was. Doug was living in his other house in Columbia. So I'm saying maybe 2001, 2002. So it
Yeah.
wasn't
Not in the 90s and 80s.
And so many years ago, I started playing other games and collecting other games, and they're so much fun that they consume time too, taking away from
Yeah.
all the other things that I want to do.
Yeah, I'm the miniatures guy.
Yep.
And now we're doing Frostgrave. We build a wizard band, and I have all the miniatures to do it. So guys got to come to my house for that,
Yeah.
And then my nieces wanted to do the D&D role playing, so we started another group to do.
Okay. So what? I just ask what
Yeah.
what campaigns do you do? Do you do homebrew or do you do some of the
5e
5e?
for D&D. Yeah,
yeah,
'cause
but do you
you've
do
played
like?
D&D.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
played D&D. Yeah, Curse of Strahd.
Okay.
And all that.
We just started the rhyme of the
the
winter.
Yeah, rhyme of the.
Rheingold? No.
I can still
What do you-
picture it. It's got a white owl bear on the front.
Yeah,
cover.
we just started that one, and then I played the old Gyjax
Rhyme
one.
of the Frost Maiden.
There you go, Frost Maiden.
Yeah.
And only like 2-3 adventures in, and then I did an old Gyjax,
Is it Gyjax or Gygax?
Gygax.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
I think.
Gary.
Yeah, but
Team of Horrors or
Yeah, it was one of those, but it had in the middle, it had a vampire daughter girl. Oh, it was a treasure of a someone.
Oh,
And you
okay.
went through the mountains, and then you
Yep.
went through these massive
Mhm.
underground things. And then like people play with me, some of them were like, this is like a killer scenario. And I'm like, I didn't remember. This is 1980s D&D.
Yeah.
And I'm adapting it for 5e. And so yeah, it's crazy. You're going to be going through all these tunnels, have this cool magic, weird things happen, have
Yeah.
this stuff. It's almost sci-fi at some point. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we did that for a long time, and yeah, some stuff like that. So anyway, ASL, are you keeping up with product too, or is that not as much of a priority?
One of the things is I give away a lot of prizes at the tournament. So I will I'm actually behind. I know Winter Offensive has a pack out. There may be a new journal. The BFP guys have something out. I got to get a copy of
Asmo
that.
might have a new thing.
I may already have Hasmo, but maybe if not, I'll get that. So yes, I buy everything and I buy multiple copies because during my raffle, I'll give out 2 or 3 packs from all the new stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I did get the Manheim Cross, but I'm also
Mm-hmm.
falling behind on keeping up with the little packets and things.
Yeah.
So,
And if I have any requests from MMP, if anyone's listening, stop making maps. We have enough
maps, yes, we do. Yes, we do, don't we?
Right.
Yes. Yeah. Don't. Yeah.
But they're easy to make, so I know why they're doing it.
And I guess people used to pirate the packs, 8 action packs that didn't have a map in it.
Right.
Maybe?
Yeah. You just got to count on the people buying stuff. And I always buy, like I said, multiple copies of everything that comes out. So.
Yeah, and I'm going to buy it even if it doesn't have a map. If it's a scenario pack, I'm buying it.
Right.
So, all right. Anyway, then your tournament update. Are you doing well here playing here? Did we talk about it already?
Oh, at this.
Yeah.
Oh,
Here
okay.
now.
So I'm 3-0. Going into the evening round, waiting to see who my opponent is. So.
Okay, and who did you beat so far? Do we talk about that, or is that improper?
I don't know. Paul Works was my first opponent.
A quality
And
opponent.
then Tom Meyer, sorry.
Yeah,
and then
quality.
James Treu was the last. So.
Okay. So, well, good luck on it. Thanks
Thank you.
for talking with us
I
again.
appreciate it, Dave. And it's good to see
We're
you.
going to try to get to St. Louis. I know
Yeah.
we say that a lot, but
Well, you know where we are.
yes, we do. All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Right. Bye.
Always love hearing from Mr. Burris.
Yep. Still thinking of getting there, but not sure this year. But if not, for maybe for sure next year, I get it done, get more interviews. We still got so many interviews for March Madness, but we thought we'd take a little break here.
When is the St. Louis thing? He said, but
yeah, July 25 to 27,
Right.
2025.
Right.
Late enough in the summer, we can check into it. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
Shall we go to some letters?
Let's go to letters.
And I would like to thank our Patreon people for the months, and Christian Holmes, Dana Linfield, Daryl Anderson, Dave Martinson, Dennis Leclerc, Dennis Donovan, Eric Top, George Coward, and Gordon E. Mullick, and our one new Patreon, John Bullock.
Really appreciate those donations. It makes a big difference for us. Yeah, and I'd like to thank to Jeff. Is that the list?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to Jeff, Chardenzar, Plague, Florence and the Machine, Hector Hernandez, and Memsers for subscribing to us on YouTube, and to PTY62 for following us directly on Podbean, which is our hosting service of choice.
Yeah, we
So thank you guys.
still get a few people that go there.
Yeah.
I have a letter from Louis. We're down to about 5 people that write us. So we'll hear from Louis twice tonight, I think. Hats off, he says, to both Dave and Dennis Donovan. Fields of Fire is my favorite track from the album. I probably listened to the most in the 80s. Now, if I win the contest, that last show would be the best episode of all time, Louis. And I don't think he won. But anyway, Louis, Dennis thanks you for the compliment.
And here's an email that says, I've been listening for a while and decided to take the plunge into your giveaway. Another graybeard, sans beard, that's French for without beard, who's been playing squad leader in ASL since the late 1970s. Funny that I was so against ASL when it was first introduced because you had to buy multiple items to be able to play. I totally get that. Yeah, I remember that from way back when. Didn't have the disposable cash for that in high school, so I didn't get into ASL until after MMP acquired the line from Avalon Hill. And that's Jim. Thank you, Jim, from the ASL wasteland of Boise, Idaho.
Mm-hmm.
Surprised. I thought there'd be a lot of ASL in Boise. You know why?
Why?
I don't know either. But I just would have thought. So, hey, if you're an ASLer in Boise and you're not Jim, write us and we'll hook you guys up.
That's right. We can try to do that.
Yeah.
And I have a letter. Not sure from who at this point, but he says, I love the take on Big Country's Fields of Fire in the latest episode. Me and the guys loved Big Country back in the day. Went to see them play a lot of times at many different places and towns. Perhaps the best gig I remember was a sold-out show at the Glasgow Barrowlands. My friend Derek Robertson's dad, rest in peace, was a taxi driver, and one day he got the guys from the band in the back of his cab, so he was able to get their autographs for Derek. Stuart Adamson's daughter is a musician in her own right now. My friend Sean, a musician who runs musical memories class at my local community center, played with her one evening. This must be from...
That would be Alan.
Alan Hume. Okay. Do you have a letter, Jeff?
I've got one here that starts off, Dear Gentlemen. So I'm not sure it's for us. It could have been maybe mislabeled.
Could be a mistake, or it could just be someone being kind.
Misaddressed. Yeah, it could be. In our old age, they're being nice to us. Gentlemen, I just wanted to follow up on a recent episode on Mannerheim Cross. I received my copy, and it certainly does look interesting. In the meantime, I also received a copy of Slaughter at Poignery.
Shoot, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Again, that looks quite interesting. Before these modules were released, there was discussion on Game Squad about whether additional infantry units were needed. After looking over things, I think the new units, the Soviet naval infantry and paratroopers and German sappers, are necessary, though there may be counters with the same values as these multi-man counters. They do have different capabilities, and having the symbols makes it easier to keep track of them. On the other hand, I'm not sure we need every single variant of every single vehicle that existed in World War II. Well, this is where we disagree. I think every single one should be printed. And I'm one of those who believe that we have way too many maps.
Yeah, not historicals, but geomorphic, I think so.
You think so?
I do.
You think they've exhausted it? Nobody can come up with a new map.
Well, every time you say that, then there's
I know
something.
Somebody takes up the challenge, picks up the gauntlet, whatever.
And I guess it may be with each new map, there's less and less need for overlays that some people find very annoying.
That is true, and I am one of those people. I've always found the overlays very annoying.
Yeah, you don't like it.
Yeah, just won't do it. I re-listened to your episode on boats and swimming recently. I recently chanced upon the 1944 Army manual about the same.
Oh, yeah.
I provided a method by which a soldier could cross a river with a rifle and perhaps a way for 2 soldiers to carry a machine gun across a river. I'm not sure entirely, except that I wanted to pass that along.
Yeah, he meant it. The manual described that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see that.
Do you have to take your pants off, do you think, when you do that? It's a little embarrassing. Again, I look forward to your upcoming episodes. as I believe I've mentioned before, I hope you will do a bit of a deep dive into the Korea rules and units. And I will reiterate my suggestion that scenario designers include a list of sources, either on the scenario card or as an enclosure with the scenario pack. Yes, that's something. Whenever we interview somebody, we almost always ask them about that. And I'm always amazed and humbled by the amount of research that guys do on these particular events before they create the scenario. It's amazing.
And that's from Preston. Preston, the long-awaited episode index for the 2 half squads is now complete.
Wow.
So we're going to try and get it posted very soon. Having said that, I hate to imagine how long it might be, but it should be very soon. And there's a lot of Korean stuff that was covered. So you'd be able to check on the episode index.
That's great. And I know Dave worked very hard on that, and I will try not to delete it accidentally.
Yeah. And he had mostly fun re-listening to the shows to make sure it was relatively complete.
Yeah, I thought that was great.
Well, this letter from Horido666, which I was first wondering, is this a real person or is it
Satan? Could be.
He says, I dusted off my copy of Submarine the other day.
Wow.
I found a 1978 Avalon Hill catalog.
Wow.
Squad leader cost $12, a $2 increase over the standard price. And they were showing the purple box. Oh, wow. The memories.
$12.
Yep. And the memories. The 1978 Avalon Hill catalog. And the game Submarine. I vaguely remember seeing that.
Yeah, I kind of do too. Yeah. Wow, $12. Now I throw away $12 every time. It falls out of my pocket every time I get out of the car, and I don't even bother to pick it up.
No.
Dear friends, here I've got one here. Dear friends, I dropped you an email a few weeks ago about how neat it was to hear Chaz Argent on episode 30. That was way back in time.
Was it episode 30? Huh?
Episode 30, talking about an upcoming release titled Slaughter at Poinery.
Wow, back then. Mm-hmm.
That show aired in January of 2010, meaning it's been more than 15 years in the making for that module.
Yes.
Similarly, episode 359 opened with a song parody that was first mentioned in episode 56. Yep, Dennis Donovan entered the ASL Song Contest multiple times, and one of the entries mentioned was Fields of Fire. That song finally made its 2 half squads debut on episode 359. This guy, was this Louis?
Yep, again.
This is Louis again. He could have done our episode index. He's very good.
Yes, in fact.
Not to take anything away from what you did, Dave.
Well,
I'm sure it's better.
Yes, and he's not re-listening. I think he's still doing first-time listening.
Oh, okay. Yeah. This got me to thinking maybe you guys are looking for a new parody. How about a song by a group I know, Dave? I mean the 2 half squad singers. How about a song that is both not overly wordy and, to please Jeff, all the syllables match?
He's been paying very close attention to our past shows.
Below is a parody of a song by They Might Be Giants, sung to the tune of Minimum Wage. I'm not a Might Be Giants guy.
I am. And
of course you are.
Minimum Move. And that was on the other show a couple shows ago, I believe. And it did not post in some
countries for copyright.
Yeah. So no one emailed saying what's up with this. So I don't know how that's working. But anyway, if you want to hear the song, you may have to listen on the podcast.
Listen to the podcast, the audio version.
Podbean or from our website.
Yeah. I
have a letter from Matt Quinton. Hey, Dave and Jeff, first time writer here, and I've been listening for the last couple of years since getting into ASLSK, including quite a dive into your old episodes, only about 60 or so that I haven't listened to yet. Wow, that's chopping them out. And we're sorry once again.
Yeah.
For putting you through that. There's been a few things mentioned that really piqued my interest, like your interview with Kyle Beach. Now, I originally picked up ASLSK1 for solo play, and it just has shown in that regard and made me fall in love with the system as a whole. To hear from someone else that played alone was reassuring. Remember, Jeff, Kyle worked out the solo play thing that he was doing.
Yes, which I thought was very interesting.
Yeah, they ran the hotel.
Yeah.
Now I have all SK content, but I have moved away from solo play. The introduction of hip concealment makes it harder to work for one thing. And my solo gaming has moved to other systems. But thanks to this great ASL community and the wonder that is Vassal, I continue to play occasional live games with people from across the world, as well as having a few play-by-mail games going on at any time. Actual play-by-mail games, where you write it down and you mail it.
I mean,
we might have to interview you, Matt.
That is just so hard to believe in this day and age.
But yeah, you leave game set up, whatever.
Yeah. Cool.
Recently, another of your listeners mentioned in letters the ASL Starter Kit tournament that Stu is running over on Discord. So I'm also playing in this as my first tournament, and I'm having a blast. Played 3 rounds, won 3 rounds, doing better than expected. The only way is down from here. And considering the time zone difference from me sitting here in the UK to opponents around the world, it has worked quite well so far. Lastly, I have to thank you for inspiring me. You have a small YouTube channel where I post. I have a small YouTube channel where I post videos about games I play, and it's really down to you two that I thought it was even possible that some regular guys can make things that other people may bother watching or listening to. Keep up the great work, chaps. Your contribution to the ASL community can't be overstated. Except he kind of says that we showed him that ordinary regular guys can do stuff.
Yeah. That's not us. We're extraordinary.
We're extraordinary guys.
We're extraordinary. We knew that right from the beginning.
No, we
no brag, just fact.
And we know, Matt, how regular we are. And we're going to post the links to your stuff there.
You don't want me to read those links?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. You know
how https://discord.com/invite/advanced-leader-central-4158768524193955586.
Are you mocking me because I used to do that?
No, I would never mock you, Dave. I
think you are mocking me.
No, I'm not.
So we will post.
I would not mock
links.
My dearest friend.
Okay.
We'll post those. Yeah.
I have another letter from Rich Logan. I'm just dropping an email to try to win the contest or to get my name on the show. Thanks, Rich Logan.
Yeah, there we go. The Rich Logan?
Yes, the Rich Logan. And
I love Rich Logan.
I know. It's so great to hear from Rich Logan.
You got a Rich Logan t-shirt on. You can't see the back. I tattooed his name on my tummy. Rich Logan. The Rich Logan.
Yeah.
I'm flattered.
And Jeff, let me cover this one from Andrew Stewart. Great episode as always. FWIW. Oh, yeah. Like squad leader, he's just pointing out, squad leader did have the Red Berserk counters, but just for the Russian squads, of course. And actually, I did not realize it was just for the Russians.
Really? They did?
I guess it might have been from the human waves. And then...
Oh, yeah, that would make sense.
And then Broken Ground's producing them for everyone to be Berserk.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, which is cool.
Yeah, thanks for clarifying, Andrew. Well, Jeff, is there anything new in the ASL world coming out?
Well, apparently, I'm glad you asked, Dave. Apparently, LFT Le Franc-Tireur has a second installment of the Perimeter series called Task Force Faith, and that'll be hitting the shelves in about a month. Yeah, apparently, it's got 11 scenarios and a new 2-sheet historical map depicting the Choisin Reservoir campaign.
Chosin Reservoir.
Yeah.
That's where Charlie Prosek was. Remember Prosek? He thinks he got frostbite in his lungs from being at Chosin.
Oh, is that right?
The Marines were surrounded by the U.S. surrounded by the Chinese. They kind of doubted they were going to actually come flying over the hills like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That could be cool.
So you can go over to, I guess I would recommend that you go to Bounding Fire.
Bounding Fire Productions, which is the United States, is where you're going to want to order from.
Yeah. Always nice to get new products from LFT. Very high quality product. If you haven't been ordering it, get started. There's a lot of great stuff there. So will we be getting that? We'll probably be getting that at some point.
No, they don't send us product. Bounty Fire is a sponsor, but they don't send us LFT product. And LFT does not. And I'm about done buying stuff, so not sure we'll be covering this one, but it does look kind of cool with deep snow actions, high mountains.
I may take a look at that and maybe I'll buy it.
Maybe. In fact,
if we think we're not going to play, we can always resell it.
That's true. Give it away.
I'd like to take a look.
If any listeners want to send it over, send it. It's the second release in the Perimeter of Necessity. I don't even know the first release.
Yeah, I can't remember it either. I didn't want to say that, but.
And speaking of LFT, I still haven't played any of the Einor, which we did have. We do, and I do want to do the Soul Fight for Soul product that they have. And we've been playing a lot of Bounding Fire, Dave and I, and we're going to be getting back to that as we finish Budapest. So is that it for letters?
That's it. That's all. Thanks everybody for writing. We would like you to write even more.
And we have a contest.
Oh,
Friendly Fire Packs 3 and 4.
Friendly Fire. Excellent.
Who entered the contest, Jeff?
We had just 3 entries on this one, Dave.
That's because it was a buried Easter egg on the YouTube channel only.
So you had to be a careful listener.
Watcher.
Yeah.
Watcher. You couldn't even listen.
Oh, it was visual. Okay.
Easter egg. It was well hidden.
So we had 3 people that watched and discovered the Easter egg, and they sent in. And the names are Richard, Stephen, and John.
Richard, Stephen, and John.
Or
we
Stefan.
Will now
might be Stefan.
Roll a real 3 6-sided dice, and it's an 8-sided.
Oh, a 6-sided. Okay.
Those are squares, Jeff.
Yes. Okay. I'm not used to this exotic shape.
1, 2
cube
is the first person you named.
Okay.
Whose name was
Richard.
And 3, 4 is the second person.
Stefan or Stephen.
And 5, 6.
John.
Hope you're not overseas.
Here we go. 2.
1, 2 is the first person named.
Goes to Richard.
Richard.
Congratulations, Richard. Come on down, Richard.
You are the winner of the Friendly Fire Packs.
You've got to come on down and collect your prize right now. Come down out of the studio audience and we will give you your prize that Carol Merrill is holding for us.
Well, Jeff, I think that's going to be a show, except for this. We have a 3-minute interview from the March Madness. We have actually a lot of interviews yet to go. So let's jump into this one.
Okay.
All right. Hi, everybody. I am here still at March Madness, racking up a ton of interviews. And this is, gentlemen, I have just met today is James Treu. And James, how did you get into ASL and gaming in general?
Well, originally it was way back in the squad leader days, transitioned into the first edition of squad leader, and then went off to the Air Force and got too busy to play squad leader or any other games.
Okay.
Because I had played a lot of other games besides squad leader, SPI, Avalon Hill, that sort of thing. And then in 2014, after I completed Air War College, for the first time, I found myself with a little time.
Okay.
And I got back into ASL. And it was a school of hard knocks getting up to the level of the players here.
Yeah. Are you up to their level?
I can compete. I would not say I am up to their level.
Okay. Yes. All right. But it's good to compete.
Sure. Yep.
And you can learn a lot coming to
I have learned a lot, quite a bit. Yep.
So then you got back from the military, got into gaming. Do you do other games too? Or?
I do. I still have a lot of SPI and Avalon Hill games and some of the newer GMT games and so forth. So I tend to emphasize the war game side of it. I play Euro games with my kids, but it's not nearly as exciting for me.
Yeah, well, true, right? I think my wife will play some Cataan and stuff like that with me also. And so then you're from what area of the country now?
I originally grew up in St. Joseph, Missouri, went away to a lot of places in the Air Force and then came back to this area.
Yeah. And then who do you game with regularly?
Well, I used to game regularly with Nathan Naviganer here,
Okay.
who's here today. But then I mostly game regularly with the guys out at the club, with the Kansas City Regulars, the ASL club
Okay.
here
Yeah.
out at Hollis, just real close to here.
Yeah. Right. And then how many March Madnesses have you been to? And
This is the 11th, 12th anniversary of my March Madness attendance.
okay, so it's been a while.
It's been a while. Yep.
It goes fast, but it ends
Sure.
up adding up
Right.
quickly. And how are you doing at the tournament here today?
Well, I never seem to make it past the third round.
Okay.
I mean, you're still in it because of the complicated point system, but you're really clawing uphill.
Okay. Yeah. And then tonight there's one more game this evening and almost. Okay, I'll hang out. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what he's waiting in there for me to
Um,
hit the game this evening, and then of course there'll be one tomorrow if necessary,
yeah. Yeah. Or for fun.
for fun. Right.
Okay. Well, great, James. Thanks for dropping in, introducing yourself to the community out there. And I'm sure a lot of them have seen you and played with you or will see you in the future. Do you
Sure.
go to any other tournaments at all?
Go to St. Louis. I've gone to Texas before. I
Okay.
wanted to go to others, but something has always gotten in the way.
Yeah. Well, our goal is to hit St. Louis soon. So we'll look to see you again there.
Okay. All right.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Good to
Thank
see
you.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
And now we're jumping out. That was a fun little interview.
Oh, you frozen.
No, you frozen.
No, Chosin Reservoir frozen.
Are we still recording?
We are, but you're frozen.
Yeah, so are you.
Caught up to us.
I guess
I think
so.
it just happened. I'm moving. Do we have to have you move?
I don't. Oh, there.
there
Now
you
we're moving again.
All right. We are unstable connection. We are getting out of here. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thank you very much. Love you. Love you.
Love
From
you
the
much.
bottom of our pure beef hearts.
Remember to low roll.
Low roll. And well rally.
I've only been drinking tea. Okay. Remember to roll low,
And rally well,
but
but not when you're playing us.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.